when watching horror movies, always remember to keep the lights out. Today we're talking about Lights Out. So I just got home from VidCon, and boy did I enjoy Disneyland, as evidenced by this photo of me mugging on Hyperspace Mountain. This was my genuine reaction of dopey joy. It's a rare thing. It doesn't happen often, but there it is. But one of the cool things that VidCon did was have pre-screenings of yet-to-be-released films. The screenings they did this year were of The Secret Life of Pets, The Nerve, or Nerve, not The Nerve. Like, the tagline is, do you have the nerve? But it's just Nerve. So that. And today's topic, Lights Out. And I was actually stoked as fuck for this one. So I piled into Hall D of the Anaheim Convention Center with about 50,000 tweens, conservative estimates, to watch the film. And it was even presented by David F. Sandberg, who was the director of the movie and the creator of the original short film that this is based on. And they even showed that original short film, which I thought was a really neat thing. But it brought up my initial worry going into this movie, and that was that the movie, being a feature-length film, wouldn't be able to keep it up, as it were, for its entire runtime. Because, you see, the short clocked in at about under 3 minutes, and it was paced perfectly. The setup and the payoff all worked in that under 3 minute time span. When you have to jump to 90, I was worried that the movie was going to have to skimp in some areas in order to make that work. Thankfully, I was 100% right. How did I know? How was that a positive? Well, do you remember that face of dopey, unexpected joy? Well, I had that face throughout most of the viewing of this, and it wasn't really so much a product of the movie as a product of the environment, because there is nothing more satisfying than seeing a bunch of toddlers get the piss scared out of them. They probably lost sleep that night and then missed their play dates the next day. I did like this movie quite a bit, though. They come up with a just ridiculous enough to be believable plot about how the woman is able to be visible in the dark, but invisible in the light. It does fall into cliché quite frequently, and I chalk that up to the filmmakers trying to Hollywood the film. You'll notice a lot of the genre conventions here. For example, characters acting stupid just for the sake of making sure the movie can still happen. Great. My house shut off, and the generator's in the creepy murder basement. Oh well, I guess I better go light some easily extinguishable candles and go investigate. But here's the most important question that needs to be answered in regards to this film. Is it scary? That's kind of a loaded question, because I don't think movies can really get scary anymore. Unless, of course, you're like a child who would cry if you met Markiplier, then yeah, this movie would probably scare you. But if you're an adult, a frizzy-haired woman in the dark probably doesn't do it for you. That said, I did jump once at one of the startle scares, and the reason why I jumped is because I wasn't expecting it. It was actually in a time where you wouldn't expect there to be a jump scare, and they put a jump scare, so that one worked, and it was earned, too. What a novel concept. At the end of the day, I would recommend Lights Out. If you like jump scare horror films that handle tension well, then yeah, give it a shot. As for me, I probably won't watch it again, just because I know all the scares now and it would lose something going into a second viewing. But I will say that I've watched the short film a couple times now and have still enjoyed it on repeat viewings, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that you do. I also intend to look out for whatever David F. Sandberg has coming out next, because I gotta say, after watching this film and after watching the short film, if he gets a little bit of experience under his belt, he could probably become one of the top-tier horror directors, at least in the startle film subgenre of horror films that's out there. Because I gotta tell you, it could use way more than just James Wan. So, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and... Oh, god damn it. Forgot to pay the electric bill again. Subscribe for jokes and god-tier gags like this one.